Prices are steadily going upwards for just about everything right now, and we're not doing much about it, are we? For example, gas prices right now. Fuel is worth, at least in my area, which is central Ontario, 140.6 a liter. $1.40.6 per liter. That is grotesque. A barrel of oil right now is worth $62. It's barely moved. In fact, it's gone backwards lately and just stabilized at $62. How in the hell are we paying $1.40 a liter? I filled up this morning and it cost me $62 to fill my tank. Normally it cost me $40.41 to fill my tank on my Jetta, but it cost me $62 this morning. Food prices, where to even begin with that? The price for meat climbs steadily upwards. There's no problem with the supply chain for meat, at least in this country. There's always plentiful amounts of chicken and beef. I don't understand why it keeps creeping upwards. And now we've heard this week on various mediums out there that prices are going to be going up on other things. This includes the price of booze, which I can no longer afford, so I'm not really too worried about that. I can go away from the booze and the alcohol for some time. Ice cream, that's unforgivable. And I want to make a side note that I used to pay $2.50 for 2 liters of Chapman's ice cream. That is now $3.97. Luckily, I bought the Breyers that was on sale for $2 today. That saved me a pretty penny, but $4 to $5 for 2 liters of ice cream, that's ridiculous. There's no need for that. The price of toys are going up, even though most of the toys nowadays are made by slave labor in China, sorry to say. Why do the price of toys need to go up? And of course, Mattel and Hasbro, two of the biggest toy companies on the planet, were the first ones to jump on this and make it known that they're putting their prices up. Like, really? Where does it end? Lumber is going up again because apparently we have no lumber, even though you can see ever since the last few months of the pandemic that's still going on, dragging, I might add. A lot of lumber yards have restocked. There's more than enough logging going on. So, yeah, let's just keep hitting the consumer where they are going to need it. It's all so nonsensical. And the main theme behind all of this price gouging, and that's what it is, it's gouging. It's no longer people trying to make a buck, it's gouging. It's the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. And we're getting squeezed for every penny, while the corporations and the businesses with capitalistic owners just keep making money. Another example of prices going up recently, and this doesn't affect me because I can't afford to eat out, but restaurants. And they're using the pandemic and the supply chain as a never-ending excuse. And what pisses me off the most is a lot of the smaller local restaurants who advertise and make sure to tell you to shop local and to buy local are the first ones to put their prices up. Without mentioning names, one of my favorite little restaurants in town has homemade milkshakes made from coconut milk. And I was paying $4 for a decent-sized milkshake. And that's actually a lot, but once in a while I don't mind when I had the money. I went there recently because I had a few bucks and I wanted to get one because it's a local business. I appreciate the owners. They're very nice people. It cost me $6.50 for that same milkshake, and that's the last one I'm going to buy for a while. I understand you have costs and overheads, but there's too many places out there just passing it on to the consumer without a second thought, and they're the first ones to cry foul. One of the local restaurants that we have downtown here in my city, I remember going to eat there, actually a couple of the restaurants in that same strip, eating at both of them, and I'm a big fan of pub food. I like my pub fries and my nuggets once in a while, and one of my favorite things to eat when I go out to a pub, which isn't happening now, is Bangers, Beans, and Mash. It's traditional pub fare. It's awesome. Some people criticize me because it's basic, but I love it. And the last couple times, we're talking 2 years ago now, I maybe paid $11 or $12 plus tax and tip for Bangers, Beans, and Mash. So my bill would come out after the tip to maybe $18 in that area. Well, now the base price for that Bangers, Beans, and Mash is $18. That's before tax, before gratuity, and anything else. not including a drink if you want something other than water. Where does it end? Bangers, beans, and mash? Potatoes are dirt cheap. Beans are dirt cheap. Sausages are not that expensive to make. Sausage prices at the supermarket has not increased, believe it or not, because I'm someone that likes to buy sausages every so often. Maybe 50 cents over the past 2 years, which is not a big deal because I buy a couple of certain brands of bangers and other sausages. But $18 starting price for bangers, beans, and mash. It's getting ridiculous out there, people. I don't understand why this level of gouging needs to take place. And the main reason why it keeps happening is because, I hate to say this, I really do, but most of Canadian society is divided into two groups. It's either the ultra-rich that can afford to pay the prices so they don't give a shit, and the rest of us, not including myself, just bend over and take it up the bum and go, yeah, no, yes, please, give me more. Where does it end? Are we just going to maybe stand up one day and say, look, we can't afford this. We're getting ground into the dirt. There is no middle class anymore. The middle class has been gone for a decade. You either have money or you don't. Or you're in that subgroup that is buying all the cool stuff, but you are so many thousands of dollars into debt that it's not even funny, and you're going to die thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. I myself, I'm going to be broke within the next week. That's how bad things are. I'm paycheck to paycheck. I said a few months ago, by the end of July, I'm going to be paycheck to paycheck, and guess what? It's happened. It's enough. We can't go on as a society like this anymore. The ends do not justify the means. It is not sustainable. We got to do something. Have a great day, everybody.